Hello, I'm going to continue with this House Beautiful magazine. This is a part 2. Usually in the second part of this magazine they start doing deeper dives into homes, so we'll be seeing more pictures from houses. So this one is a house from Naples, Florida. Look at those beautiful plaster swan tables. And this is a front entrance to this house. I'm assuming the pool is in the backyard. Yes, it's in the backyard. So this house was built in 1990s. Look at this pink entrance door. This is a very bold move to have a pink entrance door, especially if it's the only pink element in the facade. I'm really hoping to see more pink color inside, because to me the front door is a way to give a little hint of what's coming inside. And this one is a bar. The bar is the focal point of the living room. So looking at this, we can say that this bar area is done in mid-century modern style, just because it is very simple. There is a lack of decor, which tells us that this is minimalism. It's modern, but again it's a little softer than usual modern. We see curved lines, the warmer caramel wood, and those elements of gold also indicate that this could be a mid-century modern. So this is the living room with the pink door. I think they also had a picture in the beginning. Oh, here it is. So this the living room with the doors open straight to the backyard, where we've seen the pool area. I wish they would have taken picture from this side as well to show us the view, but that's a really nice space to have a big outdoor dining area like this, especially in Florida, where the climate allows the owner to spend a lot of time outside. And right away what we can see is the living room is very symmetrical. Everything is placed on an axis. It is very light. We see a large grand interior. The color palette are whites, creams, taupe, and warm wood. The scheme is very monochromatic, and the only thing that breaks this monochromatic color scheme are those large windows and the door. I think images like this for interior magazines, they are usually orchestrated to tell us a story. And I think they left this door open with an intention to show us connection with the outside. The windows do provide a connection with the outside, and so is this door. So besides the central doorway, we see this big sectional in the center. I think stylistically this room is soft modern, which we can see based on soft curved lines, and but the minimal use of details. And then we also see some transitional elements and elements of Japandi. Japandi is Japanese and Scandinavian design. So when I said transitional, if you don't know what transitional design is, transitional is a blend of modern architectural and interior styles with traditional styles. So when we say transitional, we're talking about something that is timeless, comfortable, elegant, but still has a look that's somewhere in between those two. And when I said that there is influence from Japan, I was talking mainly about those pendant lights. Look at those lights. They are globe-like forms made from white woven materials. I think those could be a modern evolution of Akari light sculptures. And those Akari light sculptures are inspired by Japanese paper lanterns. Very beautiful, very inviting living room. And here we see that it says a guest can choose between green, yellow, or pink guest rooms. It's very interesting because this is one of those times where we can raise the question. Sometimes there are two types of way to design your house. Some people think that their house should be one cohesive design where the rooms come together within the same aesthetics, versus here I would have never assumed that this bedroom and this living room belong to the same house. This one is so colorful. There is a lot of patterns. It's very vibrant and highly decorative guest room. So I would say this one is heavily focused on specific color, which is green, and a specific pattern that we can see here on this window panel on the top. That same pattern here in the bedding upholstery and those two ottoman chairs. I think here the way that the designer is trying to bring the outdoors inside is by using this pattern. I would have even said that this is very aggressive incorporation of botanical motif, but it does a really good job of extending the garden vibe from the outside inside. This one is definitely maximalistic. This one is more traditional, or maybe even we can say that this is a grand millennial or new traditional style. Wow. So I guess previous one was the green room that they were talking about, and this one is pink. This one could be the hint that we got at the entrance, but this is different shade of pink. This one is like a more of mauve or gray violet color. It's very dramatic. It's very luxurious powder room. We see there is actually a focus on this color and the sculptural form. We see here right away the main element is, of course, the architectural arch. We can talk about arch for a long time. You know, it goes all the way back to ancient Rome. But in this case, architects and designers now also, they use arches to soften the harsh angles of modern construction. So I think this was the purpose of an arch here, to create a softer volume, a feminine volume, feminine powder room. Another main object here is this vanity top. It's made from heavily veined, dramatic natural stone, either marble or granite. I think they picked this shade of purple or pink mauve color from veining. We see a little lines here, that exact same shade of deep mauve color on the stone. And another one of the main characters of this room are those two beautiful, glamorous, ornate lighting cones. The only thing personally I would have changed here is I think this chandelier here is just not fitting within the style. Overall, I think this is a very successful design. And bathrooms and powder rooms like this, them being so small, they can be treated as the jewelry box in design, where you can take an opportunity to, you know, do massive design risks like that, and it would not feel overwhelming like it would feel in a larger room, because in a larger room something like this would give a completely different feel, would be more powerful. But here it's a good way to make like this fun statement. And if you're trying to introduce some fun designs in your house, maybe start with bathroom and see how that goes. I think that's a good idea. So here we can see kitchen, pure modern, simple contemporary design. I think it's, in my opinion, again, it is nice. The way you would put the whole house together is to match a window framing everywhere that kind of ties the rooms together, versus here I think windows have been treated completely different. That's why to me it felt like it is a different, the rooms don't belong to that same house. But if the owner likes it, this is the main thing. Again, we see here a giant marble island. This one is as dreamy as the view. Well, this house is a house in New York. It's a farmhouse that was renovated. This one was built in 1900s. It's a very old house, and owners wanted to commit to biophilic design philosophy to maximize the connection of outdoors with the indoors, to connect to the nature. I think this is within this theme of the magazine, which is the outdoor issue. And the other thing that catches my eye right away is this gorgeous suspended fireplace. I would say this, it brings some architectural drama to the space. Fireplaces like this were introduced in 1960s, and usually they can rotate 360. So, and fireplaces like this could be installed either indoors or outdoors. And the fun thing about them, this fireplace can function as a pizza oven. I think that's fantastic. I would love to have a fireplace like this outdoors to make pizza. That would be amazing. So let's talk about this room for a little bit. We see that this is a space filled with a lot of light. there is an obvious connection with the outdoors. We see again mix of warm, natural textures, neutral colors. The only thing that gives this room a pop of color is this wall behind the bed. And again, this is either a mural or this is a wallpaper. As I said before, we're going to be seeing a rise of wallpapers, and I absolutely love it. So this is a way to create more definition to the room without adding more clutter, is something like that. And again, in this image, as in previous living room, this one is bedroom, but I see here a Japandi influence. It's a low slung platform bed, and just the overall simplicity and clean lines, and the bed being so low, there's a lot of furniture that's very close to the floor. In Japan, I think there's definitely this Japanese influence. Very beautiful bed. And then another very smart move by designer is having windows flanked by bookshelves. And they created those cozy nooks right by the window. So the interior designer is forcing the owner to take a time, take a book, and sit and enjoy the view and be even connected with the nature even more. Very smart move. This one is kitchen of this house. We see again a panoramic wallpaper. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to say dining room. This one is kitchen of that same house. This one is living room. So here we can see this image from the house in Florida, and one of the things that we notice is this line, and that's where the designer is saying that this is a line where the storm shutters are being hidden, so they go all the way up. This house and just houses overall in Florida, that's the place where you have to think a lot about climate and things like hurricane. Houses need to be weather resistant. One of the things you have to think about when designing houses. And this one is the front door entrance to that same house. And in article they are saying that they had to use the special windows that can withstand winds up to 160 miles per hour. So I'm thinking there is a lot more that goes into the budget building in Florida, because the houses need to withstand hurricanes. This house looks very put together. We see that room, they look like they do belong to each other. It's the same color scheme of blues, warm tones of like a honey beige. We see a rattan furniture, which is one of the first things we think when we think a tropical climate. And this is the living room. I think this living room is a good example of how much weight a color can give to the object. Imagine this door being painted white or beige. It would have made it blend within the wall. And I think why they chose this door to be painted, either because the designer wanted to put art in here, and if art was here just by itself, if we look at the symmetry, the room again is very symmetrical. We see the letter U here. We see this shape over here, this shape over there, and line on the floor. Furniture is very grounded. So you always have to think about the weight of an object for room to feel put together. So either one of those objects came first or they both came together. It's interesting how usually fireplace is the central piece that attracts attention. Here it's completely opposite. Fireplace is blending in, and those two other color pieces take more on themselves. Very colorful. I really like that carpet. See how it's white on the outer edges, and there is a gradient of deeper blue. So it's a really nice way to bring things to the center. Again, there's a lot that color can do to a room, a lot of depth it can give to the space. Library. That library, I think, is that what we've seen in this door opening. And again, look at this. We see wallpaper, and wallpaper here again. And as I mentioned before, this is again the way to treat a smaller space with bold and big scaled of a print. It looks perfectly fine. Versus here in the dining room, they use wallpaper, but it's very ornamental. The pattern is very delicate because the room is bigger. Bedrooms, everything in pastel colors. I'm assuming this one is for kids. It's a little brighter. But everything within this house feels like it belongs together. A fine balance. Here it says that designer is known for quiet elegance, meets a client who likes bold. In my personal opinion, I think in this living room, the mix of patterns and colors, everything goes nicely together, but there's such a big abundance of different objects that to me as a viewer, I'm not sure where my eye is supposed to go, and it goes everywhere. I think in rooms like this, for example, in this living room, I see the intent behind the design. My eye goes either to the center or to the corners. I see the letter U. I see the main objects in the room. Versus here, I can't really say what are the main elements that the other space were created around. The design is traditional. We see again a lot of patterns. The mixture of patterns and colors is very, like, it works perfectly together. I'm just not sure about the amount of objects. Same thing with this kitchen and breakfast area. I think they kept it fine here. And the same thing I would say about the dining room. But I'm not sure about the living room. There are 2 coffee tables, 2 sofas, 2 areas of, there are 2 fireplaces. It's a little too much, in my opinion. But everything else besides that beautiful. Well, this one is fun. This one is a bar behind a secret door. How fun would that be to have a secret bar in your own house? You would only invite your favorite friends there. Oh, this is the front cover cabana area. I would have never assumed that this cabana, this outdoor space, belongs to the house. Everything here is within the same style, and cabana area looks like it was taken from the previous house in Florida. So this house is in Venice Beach, California. We're a musical family, so this island was designed for dancing. Look at this kitchen. We see high-end kitchen, and to me this feels more like entertaining area, like something like a chic bar than an actual traditional cooking space. Palette here is very monochromatic. We see there are some reflective surfaces, like this dramatic mirror, like sectional mirror on the backsplash. The disco balls. I think as the bones of this interior, we see elements of modernism. There are unornamented lines of staircase, just the simplicity of overall space, simplicity of the island shape, a simple cabinetry, but there's an also mix of glam and Hollywood Regency revival, which favors things like reflective surfaces, gold elements, or brass. So here we see two styles are being mixed together. And of course, the center of the room, those disco balls, that when we think disco balls, we think 1970s. But actually, they have originated from 19th and 20th century and were often called luminous spheres. And later they became a centerpiece of discotheques in 1970s. I think this is a very smart move to have kitchen as this party space, because every single time there is an event, people always like to gather around food. It's always fun to cook together. Whatever the food is being served, that's where everyone is hanging around. It's nice to listen to music. And I see there are projectors with light here, so I can only imagine how fun would that be to actually put this kitchen into use. This is bedroom in that same house. I'm sure the bed is not being held by the ropes. I think it is the illusion of it being suspended. There's probably a platform under. Here we see an ad for our house. Dark, dramatic walls. Well, on this beautiful note, I'm going to end this video, and I'm wishing you a refreshful morning, to have a productive day and relaxing evening. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.